Matityahu, Yahukanan, Domanovitz Kosai. I just want to talk to you in another part about the Southern Baptist Convention membership scam. I'm going to generally just talk to you about the slavery that is involved in the membership scam. Because like I've already told you, in most Southern Baptist churches, once you get into one of their memberships, especially in the so-called more conservative factions of the denomination, including the Reformed Baptist are the worst in that denomination, you're going to find that it's going to be very difficult for you to get out of your membership. Okay. You know, like I've already told you, there are nothing but loopholes embedded in a lot of these covenants that say, well, you know, it ought to be obvious that they'd disfellowship somebody in the event of being a disturbance or not attending church services. But, in extenuating circumstances, we could just keep you. We could just keep you. You know what? That's slavery. In fact, you know, that's another violation of the Torah, is to hold a slave against their will. But see, the Southern Baptist Convention was founded on slavery in 1845, and it had already been forming before then. And it's founded on slavery, Freemasonry, racism, and it's pretty much still racist and clearly anti-Semitic, given how they've treated me alone, and given that even the Messianic Jewish Alliance of Southern Baptists had to disband and rename itself another organization. We've already talked about that on the Shavua Tov Thoughts from Saturday night. But also, it's not only slavery because of that, because I've already told you that in the event of martial law, you know, when they get you to agree to a building, you know, you don't even understand that every Southern Baptist congregation has, and pretty much every evangelical congregation, really what they call church, is required. It's called a corporation. It's a 501c3 corporation. Don't you understand from the Latin that corpus means dead, a dead body, a corpse? Yeah, and that's what the evangelical Southern Baptist Church is. It's a dead corpse. And when you're in a dead corpse, but you're considered to be a member of a corporation, you could be held accountable for unsatisfied debts, including a mortgage on a building, including any other debt. You could be considered as a member of any evangelical Southern Baptist church. You could be considered as a shareholder. You think I'm lying, don't you? Don't you even understand? Now, typically shareholders are not held to be accountable for any losses beyond their investments. And that's exactly what they can do with your tithe. Your tithe, how much you could tithe could determine how much you'd be foreclosed upon. And the more you tithe in one of these churches, the more accountable you're going to be. You know, and the church tithe is a form of slavery. Because when you're a pastor, you have to tell your members, you need to tithe to my building, you need to tithe to me because I need a salary, because you owe me, because I give you the word, I give you my word, you know. And they don't give you their word. They don't take care of their flocks. They don't pray for who they say they do, because they don't even pray. They don't. It's all a form of slavery. And, you know, it goes back to around the 1845, and even before the Southern Baptist Convention was officially founded. I read something on the history of Edgefield County, South Carolina, and discovered that mercantilism, there is a high correlation between mercantilism and the preponderance of Baptist churches that were around at that particular time, and the rise of the so-called private paid education system. And then from all that, of course, you get the seminary system not too long thereafter, because in the same year that the Southern Baptist Convention was founded, the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary of Louisville, Kentucky, I believe, was also founded. I think it was like 1859, if I'm not mistaken. Very close to the founding of the entire denomination. And you know, again, paid education, paid religious education, or paid really any education for the gospel's sake is selling the gospel. I've already said that. That's a form of slavery. It's a form of slavery to say, you need to go to seminary to be in one of our pulpits. And you have to go through all these hoops to get there. But they don't tell you that you're going to have to also join a secret society eventually. And virtually every Southern Baptist evangelical pastor is a part of a secret society. You cannot escape it anymore. And even if they're not a part of one, they're surrounded by elders who have authority over them. And they are members of secret societies, most definitely. They're the richest and the wealthiest people in your congregation. Never a poor person will you see as an elder of one of these churches, Evangelical Southern Baptist. It's a form of slavery when you're told you must tithe to their church. And it's also a form of slavery when you're told you must join to be able to do ministry in the church. And you know why? Because nothing should be so obligatory. That's why I'm telling you, church membership is akin to an oath. And Yahushua said, do not swear on heaven, for it is my throne. And do not swear on the earth, for it is my footstool. And do not swear on Jerusalem, the city of the great king. But when you join a church, you're told pretty much to swear. You're pretty much to swear your life away just to that church. You can only tithe your 10% to that church. And you know, that causes problems for a lot of people in congregations who would like to help somebody who's poor but can't because they're told they must tithe. And that's quite obvious. I have an article in the description box below that's going to show that a 92-year-old woman of some sort of black African Baptist church was told not to come back because she couldn't tithe and she was a shut-in. That's how cruel a taskmaster these Baptists are. By the way, Baptists were founded from the Englander strain. And Englanders have always been the ones who bought and sold slaves. And you think just because we live in modern day America that you're not a slave? You're a slave if you're tithing to these churches. And these pastors who only come in during the week twice a week to even come to the church office, what are they doing the rest of the week? Well, they're collecting their big fat salaries. Probably committing sins that you don't see that they commit, or probably engaging in some sort of Masonic meeting or some secret society meeting, or maybe some local CIA, FBI, DOJ briefing about how they're going to eventually get you into the FEMA camps. How much further should I go on about what kind of slavery you're in if you're in a Southern Baptist Evangelical church? These places are built like castles now, these newer ones, and they're going to be held to fortify you in their prison walls come time of martial law. And I'm going to continue to say that the Ruach El Yah continues to show me that they're going to be martial law property seizures. That's how they're going to get you out of your homes into the FEMA camps. They're going to have you caught in debt, and they're going to foreclose on everything, and they're going to push you into the FEMA camps. And you're going to have to make a decision that you're not going to go to a FEMA camp, and you're not going to trust them. You'd rather trust Yahuwah to bring forth the ravens to feed you rather than go into a FEMA camp. And that's what I'm going to do. No matter how much food I have on me, no matter how many provisions I have on me, I will trust in Yahuwah, my Heavenly Father, to provide for all my needs. What about you, Englander Evangelical Baptist? Who are you going to trust in? A denomination? While your pastors watch your flocks get devoured daily? I keep on saying that. This is Matityahu, Yahukanan, Dominovitz, Kosai. I'm going to continue to talk about Southern Baptist. I'm going to continue to talk about their membership scam and how it is nothing but a form of slavery and how you should get out. I will say shalom to the Cherokee, shalom to the Messianic, and I'm going to bid the Gentile Christian Greek, and Irene peace.